Hey everyone, it's Gina Spagnola, President and CEO of the Galveston Regional Chamber of Commerce, and welcome to the Business Edge Galveston County, and happy Mardi Gras. I'm so happy to have a friend of mine, a great friend of mine, Michelle Robinson. We've become very close since you've come to this city, and she is the publisher of the Daily News, the oldest newspaper in Texas. And as y'all know, we're the oldest chamber in Texas. So we've been together for 181 years. These two organizations. So welcome to the Business Edge.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We've got some questions that we're going to start off with about what prompted you to go into this industry. But before we do that, and for people that haven't been lucky enough to meet you, just give us a little bit of, just a little background of where you came from.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit everywhere. I grew up in Portland, Oregon. So I've always had water. We always were down at the beach, which I love
Oregon.
I love Oregon too. My family's from Wyoming, so we moved to Wyoming. And then I got married. I lived in Montana for a long time. I lived in
beautiful state,
Washington, and now I am in my favorite place, Galveston, Texas.
Yeah, we're so happy that your journey brought you here.
Me too.
Had the opportunity to meet your husband too. What a great guy. I love that. We get to go to the Grand 1894 Opera House together, and not really together, but we were right by each other. But so welcome, and thank you for doing this. I know you're so busy, but then now, what prompted you to go into this industry?
That's a pretty funny story, really. So my background is culinary arts. My husband is an editor, and he's four decades being an editor and in that business.
Wow.
So for me, that was his thing, not my thing. We moved for his career, and where we ended up moving to was somewhere that wasn't a lot of opportunities in restaurants. Yeah. And so I ended up running a furniture store and met his boss, his publisher, and met his publisher. Anyway, we had a big event. He won the... We did a drawing for $2,500 worth of furniture. And when I found out he won it, I made the comment of like, oh, I can't wait to get you in the store.
Oh, nice.
Got him in the store and sold him about, another $2,500 on top of that. So
wonderful.
He said, you need to come work for me. And I said, oh, that's my husband's business. He goes, nope, come work for me. I decided to go see what it was like, fell in love. And, the saying in our industry is, when ink gets in your blood, it just stays. And that's what's happened.
Well, and I just learned that because I figured that you had done it forever.
Yeah.
Such it. Nola, about how does it feel to be the first woman publisher in the oldest newspaper in the great state of Texas? How does that feel?
It's a little, I'm still getting used to it. I actually still have time calling myself publisher.
Well, she does, because the color on her cell phone, I know, damn, the sales director, I'm like, no, you're not. You're the publisher. But we're getting there.
I know. Being
typical newspapers. I mean, do you know a lot of women publishers?
No. I think we're an evolving world.
Yeah.
Newspapers are evolving. Media is changing. A lot of people say, oh, newspapers, they're dying out. And I always hate even repeating that because that's not at all what's happening. Truly, our audiences are larger than they've ever been. The challenge is it's not the same. It's not coming in the same format anymore. So our newsletters, we're reaching people in newsletters. We have our digital, we have a replica edition. There's so many different avenues that we can reach people now that we were never able to reach before. And that's making it grow and get bigger, and so that more people can be in the know.
What's one decision or strategy that made maybe the biggest impact in your growth?
I've been doing this for 20 years in this industry, and I had an opportunity to work for a very large newspaper organization, one of the largest ones in the country. And with that, it was tough because I left family newspapers. So it was a little different for me, but it was the best thing I could have ever done because we had a very strong digital background. And so with that, it also came with the agency, learning the agency. We had very big name clients. We won awards. I learned the business. I understood it better. And it kind of helped me grow to where I'm at now. So I got that opportunity so I could get some new tools in my tool belt, so to speak, and be able to take the next step, which was able to come and work for the Galveston Daily.
Yeah. How did you just found out about the position? How did that, did you know Leonard? Had y'all ever met Leonard Woolsey?
So in 2016, I think, I came in with my old company with a couple other executives. We came down to learn about the Coast Monthly magazine and learn how they're doing it, all this. So we all came, I was from Washington and, some people were from, a couple of us were from Washington. But anyway, so we came down and we met him and I was just so awed and like, wow, what a great publisher. I want a publisher like that. He has a surfboard in his office.
Cool.
This is a great place. And I fell in love with Galveston. And I actually brought my husband down 2 months later and we came for a visit and he fell in love with Galveston. And then we came back again. And I said, someday we should live in Galveston.
Wow. And then the position opened. And then the rest is history.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Once you get here and get the sand, and so just our way of life here in Galveston too.
And the people.
I
really have to say the people are amazing.
And it's just like getting ready for this weekend and Mardi Gras. Just this morning, driving in and getting dressed up and going to Good Morning Galveston and stuff and thinking about Mardi Gras. And then after that, what's next and what's next? And there's just so many wonderful things that happen on any given weekend here.
Nobody can say they're bored. You cannot say you're bored in Galveston.
And that commute on the seawall and that sunrise, I get up early enough to see that sunrise and usually going home when it's setting. So I get to see both of those glorious things. What's the best piece of advice anyone's given you?
So when I was in the restaurant business, but it does relate to everything that I do. I had a mentor. He was amazing, very strong business owner and made millions off of his businesses, off of $10,000 actually is what he was given. And he made a multi-million-dollar business. But his advice to me was, if you're in it and you're going to do something, you do it. And you're there and you're present and you stay present. And that always stuck with me. It took me a while to understand what that meant, but now I do understand it. So you can't dip your toe in it. If you're in it, you're in it. And you have to own it and you have to be present in it.
I like Matthew McConaughey talks a lot about that. I follow him for many reasons. But he's such a great leader, really, and read his books, and he's got those podcasts.
Yeah.
And that's what he says, don't half do it.
Yep.
You cannot halfway it. I mean, if you're going to go in it, love it, and all of that. So, I believe in that.
And it works across everything.
It does. In anything we're doing.
Yeah.
In your darkest days, this one always gets me. What kept you going, or what keeps you going on those hard days?
I would say definitely family. My parents, there's a lot my parents sacrificed. A lot of my parents did to make sure that I could have everything. So I think I always want to make sure that they're always proud of me. So I think that gets me through. Is like, if tough times are happening, I remember what my parents did for me. And
what's one habit or mindset that keeps you focused and resilient? You have difficult questions.
Ooh, they're good. Well, I was an athlete in school, so I'm very competitive.
Me too.
We like to. So I do like to win, I will say. I played soccer and golf. So those were my two sports. And then I coach soccer, and I had these little kids. And I remember that going to a coach meeting and having the people tell me that, you don't keep score. And I'm looking around at everybody because I'm very competitive. I'm like, of course we keep score. There's a winner and there's a loser.
Yeah.
We didn't do it to have fun. No. So I think that is one thing that keeps me going, is that I do like to win, and I'm going to figure out a way to win. So
It's that competitive.
it is very, but in a positive way. I
I feel like there's a difference in not being a good sport in it.
Yes.
But I think we're a lot alike, and that if we're going to do something, going back to this, we're going to give it 100%, and we're going to work at it. We're not going to go into it saying it really doesn't matter if we win or lose, because we won it, because there is a winner.
Not everybody gets a ribbon.
Not everybody gets a ribbon. It's just how we grew up.
I know.
So I like the next question, and it's the first that I'm seeing it too. But I like this, Christine. But if a new chamber member had just 30 days, what should they do first with the chamber to see traction? I love that.
It is a good question.
Great question.
So I would say, my first thing I would say, just because of what it did for me, is if you can get into that leadership, you need to get into that leadership right away. And that's where you're going to make connections. You're going to learn about the community. When I went through it, I will tell you, I loved seeing how many BUIs were in there and how many people learned stuff about the area that they didn't know and about themselves.
And you jumped right into it.
I did. So, but I love it. And I believe that you need to be invested. This is a very strong chamber. And just being a person that's lived in other markets and always involved and an advocate for a chamber. And I'm not just saying this because but it is, this is a very strong, good chamber. And if you're participating and you're here, it will work for you.
Well, thank you for that. We just started our class, our 2026 class. We have 55 in it. It's our largest class in our history. Well, thank you so much. You're so busy. And the one thing we all know in our jobs is that time is the most precious thing that we have. I've been saying write a check, but nobody does that anymore. But give you money than to give you their time, because it is so precious. And so I do thank you so much for your time and all that you're doing.
Well, thank you.
All that you're doing. I love your love for this island, and your partnership is so meaningful.
That's
I can't
important.
imagine not going through this without the Daily News and that strong partnership. And we help each other. And thank you.
For the two oldest businesses. Come on.
We are. We got it down. So thank you so much. And thank you for watching The Business Edge.